Hey everybody, thanks for joining me for this tutorial. Today I'm going to show you how to edit your slider feature on your Social Reach website. So once you log in, you'll be brought to your dashboard, and to get to the visual editor, we'll go up to our church name, which in this case is Fred's Church, and then we've got Visit Site. So I've got it here on this New Here button, and we'll go and we'll edit it in here. So you can see I've got the slider feature right here. Right now it's not turned on to be automatic, so I'll show you how you can make that change. So we're going to enable the visual builder. This will bring us into our editing settings. So as we scroll over this section, so this blue part is our section, and then the teal is the actual row, and then the module is which is this gray one, this is where we're going to actually edit our content for the slider. So if we open up on that gear setting, you'll see it says slider settings. This is how we know we're in the right place. If you're hovering over and it doesn't say slider settings, then you're not editing in the right module. And so each slide that we've got here has a different image. So you can see which image it is when you scroll down here. It's going to be in the background section. You can see that first one is that Wake Up Your Sunday Mornings image. And each one is going to have that in the background. So if you're uploading new ones, if we wanted to upload a new image, we'd go to that plus sign, do the background. We'll click on this image icon to get an image. If you want it just to be a solid color, you do the paint bucket. If you needed it to be gradient or a video, you would use these different icons, but we'll add an image. So we've got here in the stock library a bunch of outreach images that you can use. So here, let's say we want to add this one right here, I am the light of the world. We'll go ahead, upload that image. You can see it's a little bit squished right now, but we can fit it to the size rather than cover by doing fit. And we'll save that by pressing this check mark. And then we'll save the whole thing by clicking that purple ... and then save. So now we've added that image into our slider. Now if we want it to be so that it scrolls through all of the images automatically, we can go to Design, scroll down to Animation, and then turn that animation on. So it's default to 7,000 milliseconds. You can set it if you want it to be faster or slower, but it's in milliseconds, so you're going to want to add some zeros on there. So let's say we want it to be 5,000 milliseconds, and then we will just say save, and then save. And there we can see that it's automatically scrolling through each of those images. So then let's say we need to delete one of these images. We don't really like that I'm the light of the world image anymore, so we can just do that trash can, and that will delete it. And we can do the check mark and then save, and that will remove it from the slider. If you some of the slider images are just different like backgrounds. There's just no text on them, so you can see that this one doesn't have any text on it. This is perfect if you want to add a directional piece of information. So let's say we want to use that background and we want to add some content on there. So we want to say, join us at Kids Church. So then we could add a button here and says learn more. We could add a link to our kids page. So we could do fredschurch.com/kids. And then when we click on that link, it would bring us to that page. This is the best way if you want to have directional pieces of your slider, is to use one of the blank canvases that doesn't have any text on it already and add your text on top of it. The way that this slider feature works is it works best if you've got blank canvas and then you add the text on from the module, rather than uploading an image that says join us at Kids Church and then trying to navigate putting this button on there. It's going to default to the center, and then the alignment is either left or right, and then moving it around from there is a little bit tricky. So we recommend if you want to have directional pieces like that on your slider, you use a blank canvas. If you have an image, so suppose we want to use this first one, we want to wake up your Sunday mornings. and we wanted this to say like join us at our coffee shop or something like that. The best way that I would recommend doing that if you want to use the imagery is to add a button onto your page. Sliders are great because they can give a lot of information at one time, but they're also really overwhelming if you've got a lot of things going on. So we recommend that you've got 1 or 2 specific calls to action, and that if you want to have buttons, that you add them in not on your slider, because then somebody has to wait until they see the button to click on it. So rather you could just add in a new section of your website like this. We could add a regular row, and we could add a button, and we could say something like check out our coffee shop. If you wanted it to be more, and then you'd add your link there in this link section. If you wanted to add different text to describe what that meant, you could add in a text button or text module and say, we have the best coffee, join us for a great conversation. This way, the person that's looking, or guest is really who you want to put your information on the website for. If a guest is saying, hey, I heard that you have really great coffee at your Sunday morning coffee meetings, then they don't have to go and wait for the slider to say the button. They can just check out the coffee shop and go directly to that link and learn more. So that's really the best way that you can go about doing that. But if you need to go and edit your slider, that's how you're going to do it in that gear setting. And then you can add from there. But like I said, adding a button or adding text onto images that already have text isn't the easiest. And we recommend just adding a button onto your page that's more directional for your guests to easily find where you're trying to go. So let us know if you have any questions, but that's how you update your slider. Thanks.